might be a little bother to be seized by law enforcement at a barrier. In any case, is that not worth perhaps your life or somebody you do love in an event that stops only that one driver that is impended? No, don't drink and drive is straightforward. States with a sobriety checkpoint law compared with those without a law had 18.2% lower drinking driving. States that conducted sobriety checks at least monthly versus not conducting checks had 40.6% lower drinking driving. The state law variables was not significant when enforcement was added. In the U.S., law implementations may not require breath tests. All things considered, those for whom an officer has a sensible doubt of weekend driving. Not exclusively do temperance checkpoints give officers a way to distinguish depleted drivers. The uplifted media consideration encompassing checkpoints can hinder impended driving in certain examples by expanding drivers' apparent danger of capture. For every arrest made for driving while intoxicated, drunk driving incidents go unpenalized, although more arrests are made for drunk driving in America than for any other offense, and significant sums are spent on enforcement. 650,000 individuals are injured in alcohol-related motor vehicle accidents each year. This tragedy translates into economic costs to the American taxpayer that exceeds $24 billion annually. In certain communities of officers with unique preparing work superbly of capturing drivers who are weakened by liquor. This is essential work, however, more is required than getting individuals once they've abused the law. It's basic to persuade depleted individuals not to drive in any case. This is the place temperance checkpoints can have any kind of effect. Police culture might neutralize checkpoint usage. It doesn't need to be a major generation, including 12 or at least 15 cops. This has been the standard, yet it is important to make an obstacle impact. Restraint checkpoints can be directed by as few as 3 cops. Generous decrease in accidents were watched for both checkpoints types course-wise over different results, measures, and time spans. Results recommend that both RBT and SBT checkpoints can assume an essential job in avoiding liquor-related crashes and related wounds. Individuals reported that a greater perceived chance of being pulled over for DWI corresponded to less alcohol-impaired driving on their part. There is substantial and consistent evidence from research that highly publicized, highly visible, and frequent sobriety checkpoints in the United States reduce impaired driving fatal crashes by 18 to 24%. Regular, highly visible checkpoints have a greater chance of reducing DUIs in communities than yearly checkpoints. It is important to recognize that evidence-based, highly visibility enforcements like sobriety checkpoints serve 2 purposes. The first is to serve as a general deterrent in order to change people's behavior. Arguably, the most successful checkpoints relatively low numbers of alcohol-related citations because people knew that the law will be enforced and planned accordingly. The second purpose is as a specific deterrent, which occurs when officers remove intoxicated drivers off the road. Although checkpoints are not conducted in 13 states for legal or policy reasons, there is strong evidence that if conducted appropriately, checkpoints would save lives in other states. However, a recent survey of checkpoints use has demonstrated that despite the efforts of the U.S. Department of Transportation to encourage checkpoint use through publications, providing funds for equipment and for officer overtime expenses, only about a dozen of the 37 states that conduct a checkpoint do so on a weekly basis. We should be supporting law enforcement by encouraging more frequent checkpoints to reduce those alcohol-related traffic deaths, even if it means adding a few extra minutes to our commute. Studies have shown that sobriety checkpoints can reduce alcohol-related crashes by 20%, and that every dollar invested in checkpoints can save between $6 to $23 in costs from alcohol-related crashes.